All right, welcome back, friends. For only the second time in history, Indian markets are trading on a Sunday and they opened on a weak note. Benchmark indices slipped. That was because of the early reaction to the budget. But let's focus on what we did to make ninth budget of Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman very special. Not just for her, but for millions of audiences of the Republic Media Network across the country, breaking barriers and rewriting the rules of news delivery today. On this historic budget day, Republic Media Network has achieved the impossible. As Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman rose to present her record ninth union budget, we did not just report it, we revolutionized it. For the very first time on Indian television, Republic Bharat and Republic Kannada delivered real-time AI-powered live translation and dubbing of the Finance Minister's speech in her own voice, directly in Hindi and Kannada. No delays, no subtitles, just pure natural access for millions. And the numbers speak for themselves. Live streaming 100,000 plus. Let's look at some of the details of how we went into this project, how we delivered it to you, and then we come back for a conversation with the AI group that brought it or made it possible for us.
India's first live AI presentation of the budget, which means that in Kannada, especially you can switch on to Republic Kannada today, you will hear the speech in Nirmala Sitharaman's voice with her intonations, her colloquialisms, her ups and downs and everything with a latency of just about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes.
As she stood up to deliver her record ninth budget, two Republic Network channels were ready with the first ever AI live translation innovation. Hindi and Kannada translations of Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's speech, dubbed in her own voice in real time on Republic Bharat and Republic Kannada.
जब हम 2003 से 2007 तक के दौर में थे, तब पूरी दुनिया में तेज विकास का दौर चल रहा था। इसमें भारत ने अपनी स्थिति मजबूत की और भारत की ताकत इन मूलभूत व्यवस्थाओं के क्षेत्र में रही है।
For the first time on television, live dubbing in different languages, and that too in the Finance Minister's own voice, making the experience more natural, impactful and accessible to the viewers of Republic Bharat who followed it in Hindi.
आज जो बजट आर भारत ने हिंदी में दिखाया वो हर वर्ग की समझ में आया।
आज जो आर भारत ने हिंदी में बजट दिखाया है बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आया और बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि भारतीय भाषा है, हम लोगों को उसमें ज़्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आता है।
Her speech in Parliament was in English, but the Republic and Sarvam AI initiative marked the biggest ever budget day innovation, redefining the digital news experience in India as the live dubbing in Karnataka reached the 7 crore population in the state in their own language.
ಭಾರತ ಆರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗತೀಕರಣದ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. 80ರ ದಶಕದ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು 90ರ ದಶಕದ ಆರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿಶು ದೇಶೀಯ ಉದ್ಯಮ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕ ತೀವ್ರ ವಲಯಗಳನ್ನು
The benchmark set by Republic Media Network has broken language barriers, making it easier for people to consume important information in their native language with high impact and real-time execution.
I'm just watching Nirmala Sitharaman budget speech, that too in Kannada, in our language. It all happened through Sarvam AI. It is really an amazing experience.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. I was just reading out the comments that we got in our digital platform about Republic Kannada's initiative to live telecast Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's budget speech in Kannada with the help of Sarvam AI.
For Sarvam AI, a foundational AI company built from scratch in India, it's been a breakthrough day.
An exciting first for the budget this year, got telecast live with a very small delay in multiple languages. I got feedback from people saying that for the first time they understood the budget end to end, they saw it in Hindi. Exciting times. AI should be used to make information intelligence accessible to all, and language should be a bridge, not a barrier. We are showcasing that, and I think India has started its journey to build its own AI for its own needs.
Behind the scenes, it's been a new and high-pressure live execution, capturing the right translation style, managing latency during live broadcast, ensuring no glitches and clear audio, handling technical issues with multiple checks that required a strong coordination between different teams.
It's been a bit of exciting as well as challenging experience. We collaborated with the Republic TV team to make sure that we're able to live stream the AI translation of Honorable Finance Minister on the budget day, and we did it in Hindi and Kannada.
Republic has been a trendsetter in Indian journalism. The collaboration with Sarvam AI today opens up a world of immense possibilities that cut across languages, regions and different voices.
Well, viewers, it has been an incredible day of innovation at Republic Digital. Whether today we managed to pull off Nirmala Sitharaman's budget speech in Hindi and Kannada, and across all our YouTube platforms, our CTV, and while in doing so, we also reached out to a wider audience than we. It has been some last moment hectic hours, but you tell me how exactly it went through.
I think it was fantastic. I think what we did in the testing phase, you can't predict what the finance minister would have said today. You couldn't predict in terms of the interjections the opposition could have made, but it all sort of came together real time because Sarvam powered it with such finesse, with such accuracy, and across our languages. I think the bigger headache, I wouldn't call it a headache, I think the bigger challenge would be the more appropriate term for us was, you had the feed going, you had the broadcast feed going, but Himanshu, also the digital streaming and the CTV amplification we had to do parallelly.
Yes, and we at one point of time we had more than 1 lakh people sitting on the Hindi stream, and that gave us like nervous moments, goosebumps. But still, the way Sarvam AI actually pulled it off, I think it was near flawless.
Yes.
And the entire team effort, where the YouTube team and the TV team, the broadcast and the PCR, the way we managed, I think this was a learning experience for us.
Excellent, I think. And I think the biggest thing for viewers to look forward to is that we take the power of the RDOT, the Republic brand, across multiple languages, which has been Arnab's vision right from the start. Innovations that Sarvam AI today have brought, integrated with a thrilling newsroom of digital and broadcast of Republic, has ensured that that our promise of taking our content across every Indian language is going to hit your screens really soon. What a fantastic day it has been. I have the privilege of having the entire Sarvam AI team and the Republic Digital team. I have the product team of Sarvam AI. Thank you for joining us, Arijit and Shashank. I have co-founder Pratyush. We have been hammering at this over the last week, and I'm so happy that we were able to pull it off. From Republic Digital, I have our editors, Pranav and Himanshu. Thank you for joining us. Over the next, I think, 15 to 20 minutes, we're just going to talk about and take our viewers through it, because we are inundated, Pratyush, with feedback. We're going to try and get that on our screen really soon. But we're just inundated with feedback from the people in terms of how this was such an amazing experience. I want to get your first reaction in terms of pulling this unprecedented live situation simulation off for this mass audience that we went with, Hindi and Kannada.
Congratulations to the entire team. I think we came together in such short notice with something that was ambitious. I think it is two startups really coming together to do something great, right? The startup energy in the Republic studio was very palpable. It was the first time we all three walked in a couple of days back and we sort of pulled this off. But frankly, what really gives energy is to think about how some feedback that is pouring in talks about, hey, this complex thing called budget, which is an important aspect of the democratic process, became accessible to me right then while it is happening, right? Of course, they read it in the newspapers later, but the ability to get it right then when the news is coming out in their language, I think gives a lot of pride. And I think this is a great start. There's a lot more to do. But I just also want to say, right, it is a combination of deep tech innovation. We built these models right here in India with the team that is there right in the studio, but also the playground for the innovation is required, right? We need to ensure that this gets deployed for things that matter. And I think the Republic team did a great job on that front.
Yeah, I know. I think I just want to go through some of the responses, Himanshu, Pranav, that we've got. Live dubbing during the union budget is no joke. Zero lag, zero confusion, Sarvam delivered under immense pressure. I think that sums it up because, you know, the budget is not, the budget is a very complex. Pranav has seen several of them.
I mean, there are so many numbers, there are so many terms that are sometimes used in English and cannot be translated in a local language. Was it difficult? Were there some moments where you were actually tensed? Oh my God, she said this. Now, how is my AI going to translate that?
We were constantly monitoring the logs just to make sure that nothing goes bad. So yeah, but like we have our fallbacks in our place. We have been doing this long enough to know sort of the patterns that might arise and what they might lead to. So a little bit of experience helps always and to put those fallbacks in place. But yeah, I mean, because this was the first time for us and especially doing live, we were sat in front of our laptops constantly monitoring just to let you guys know if anything goes haywire.
Yeah, and Arijit, you know, you've been testing day and night, literally, with our broadcast and our digital team.
Absolutely.
It's one part to, say that, we'll do this in a safe VOD environment where we, viewers, when we do it in a VOD environment, it means that we will, we will do this in a situation where, we can pre-record it and then bring it to you later. But then we said that, if we actually have to test the limits of AI, and any live simulation, then why not do it with the most complex, event of the year that is then beamed and democratized to a large mass audience? Because other Hindi channels, other Kannada channels, I'm sure, were streaming the finance minister's stream in English. And, to have gone in a live situation, tell me a little bit about in terms of where were the glitches? I guess in terms of the testing phases, we didn't get much time. I think as Pratyush already said, I think it was like 5 or 6 days ago, last weekend, I think, when we just had it.
Even less than that.
And tell us, Arijit, what were the most, I guess, challenging bits from, of course, the product perspective from your side?
Absolutely. So, as you rightly mentioned, there are two aspects to it. One is working with the streaming and the broadcast team, figuring out the latencies and all. At the same time, working on the model side and the pipeline side to ensure that the accuracy is there. You are well adhering to the terminologies that are being used, all the technical terms and nuances. So it's been a lot of iterative process. I would say like Republic TV's editorial and the broadcast team has been really helpful in that. We did a lot of iteration. We got in a lot of feedback how actually the budget summarization happens, how people consume budget information after the English feed happens, and that helped us in sort of fine-tuning our pipeline so that it adheres more to obviously the context of a budget speech, right? At the same time, we have trained our models on Honorable Finance Minister's voice so that the speaker similarity, the way she is speaking, right, those all adheres to her actual way of delivering.
That it was Nirmala Sitharaman speaking.
Exactly.
And we often talk about progress for the people. Today, I think what we achieved together with Sarvam was technology for the people and technology to the people.
Absolutely.
And I think those were some moments when we were worried, Tanvi, whether this word will be pronounced right, that word, what if that word goes wrong, and all of that. But I think the way it all came together is probably an incredible feeling.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to go back to Pratyush, in terms of, I think what is being said here is that, every language, especially Indian languages, each of them have their nuances, right? And there is, a speech is never literal. And then the stakes are also high, because you're doing no less than the finance minister on a budget day. So, did you have any heebie-jeebies? And that would be my first question. The second would be that, where do you think that this can go? We're buzzing with ideas. We're very excited editorially. But, this, I think, really pushed the limits as far as what live broadcast and live streaming can do. But, Pratyush, how do you see it in terms of where this can go? How do we take an Indian-made technology and, sort of democratize and amplify content coming from India to the world even, maybe?
No, absolutely. So, see, we have been working with Man Ki Baat, the radio program that the Prime Minister has for the last 6 months, and really understanding the nuance of language quite a lot. That is, mind you, not a live experience. The thing gets recorded, and then we dub it into different languages, have multiple layers of feedback from language experts, which improves the whole model. That experience, and Shashank mentioned it, that experience really pushed us to understand all these nuances and build them into the models that we have. But what we did today was a leap of faith. Let's go do it live. In fact, the budget speech, as you know, is super confidential. Nobody gets to have a look at it even outside. So it was really real time. No expectations on what you may see. So what we achieved, therefore, is a definite improvement on what was possible earlier. I also want to bring out this notion. This is a slightly technical term, but in a democratic process, we need to ensure that the brand of the voice gets carried through. A key thing that we focused on is that it sounded, even in Kannada, even in Hindi, like the finance minister as much as possible. And in fact, that is one strong feedback we get from people, and also on raw metrics. When we go compare ourselves with any other voice technology in the world, we have the state-of-the-art numbers in terms of speaker similarity. And I feel that while content will get created in various ways, the voice of the creator, the voice of the public figure needs to be true to their identity. And that's something that we have focused a lot and done. To your second part, where can this go? Well, everywhere, right? So the intent is we can now make information more accessible. People can participate in what is happening around them in much more accessible forms. As I said in the beginning, we shouldn't be looking at language as a barrier. Hey, there's a lot of content in English. Getting it to other languages is hard. That bottleneck disappears, right? And I see this as a power now in democracy to make information available across languages. We have, I know in Republic TV, we have a couple of channels in different languages. Ideally, it should be available across all languages. Ideally, educational content, content that is there even in entertainment should be available in more languages. In fact, we are working on all these domains, and we are quite pumped about what it overall means for the news and media industry to make content available in languages, but in the speaker's own identity.
I was going through some stats, and I jaw really dropped when I came across this, when it said that 77% of consumption on streaming, on digital streaming alone, is cross-lingual, with people watching translated audio or translated subtitles. Now, I think what was really a differentiator in terms of this experience was that you really matched the audio. So I have to ask the product team, how do you match the audio? Because we've got like a lot of feedback in terms of you didn't get the translation, live translation 100% on point, but you also were able to capture the nuances of Nirmala Sitharaman's accent in Hindi, Nirmala Sitharaman's accent in Kannada. So how does the product manage that real time?
Yeah, sure. So these models are particularly trained trained in such a manner that it can mimic the voice and the speaker similarity and the tone that they're speaking, right? So it's not like a simple robotic voice that can just go out and say the usual TTS kind of thing. These are voice cloning TTS model that can do zero-shot voice cloning in real time for any speaker that comes, and these with a very high speaker similarity across all the multiple Indian languages that we have. So the models are trained on that large amount of data. It sees a lot of different varieties of data, different speaking style, and it has learned to, these diffusion-based models have learned to mimic those nuances of the voice in a real time with some bit of input, right? So those are handled in such fashion. At the same time, the contextual nature of the translation that happens, that really depends on, the type of videos that we are feeding in. It's a public announcement, it's a speech video, it has to maintain that formal nature of the communication, right? It has to, ensure that it is a, speaker of the state who is speaking. Then there are different categories of video based on what the context of the nature of the translation changes. So all these things are being, trained into the model. They understand the overall agentic harness layer. It understands the nuances of the type of videos being played and accordingly translate into the different languages, ensuring the contextual, translation of it. Sashang, you want to go on?
That's fascinating. I think we also have members of the product team or the model team. I think Himanshu and Abhigyan have joined us, I'm told, from the Sarvam team. But before that, I will go to our Republic Bharat and our Republic Kannada newsrooms. We have Sri Lakshmi from Republic Kannada and Mridul from Republic Bharat. So first, I'll go to Mridul. Mridul, how was the experience? We were all in the newsroom and the PCR. So tell our viewers how was the experience to hear Nirmala Sitharaman live? In terms of feedback from the audience, what are you hearing? Let's get that on air, please.
बिल्कुल देखिए तन्वी, जो अभी आप लोग बात कर रहे हैं, वाकई रिपब्लिक ने जो किया है आज, वो एक उदाहरण है, एक एग्जाम्पल है कि आप कैसे भविष्य में एआई से बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। और ये सिर्फ रिपब्लिक नहीं, रिपब्लिक ने एक ट्रेडमार्क सेट किया है कि आप आने वाले समय में किस तरह से एआई का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। और जैसा अभी आप लोग चर्चा कर रहे थे, वाकई तन्वी, जैसा डिजिटल न्यूज रूम में आप लोगों को लग रहा था बहुत कठिन है, हमें भी लग रहा था, क्योंकि हम भी ऑन एयर उस समय मौजूद थे और निर्मला सीतारमण का भाषण हूबहू उनकी टोन में जा रहा था, उनकी वॉइस में जा रहा था। जब सर्वम टीम से हमारी बात हो रही थी ऑफ द कैमरा, तो हम यही चर्चा कर रहे थे कि ये जो टोन है, ये जो वॉइस है, ये बिल्कुल सिमिलर लग रही है। तो दर्शक क्या कहेंगे? मैं आपको तन्वी एक उदाहरण बताना चाहता हूं। जब आज हमने एआई के थ्रू पूरा का पूरा बजट भाषण हिंदी में प्रसारित किया, ब्रॉडकास्ट किया, उसके बाद मैंने कुछ लोगों से बात की है और उन्होंने मुझे बताया है कि वो एग्जैक्ट लग रहा था। कुछ देर के लिए लोगों को लगा कि ये निर्मला सीतारमण ही बात कर रही हैं, यानी इतना एक्यूरेसी थी। तो ये एक मानकर चलिए आप कि ये महज एक शुरुआत है, इट इज जस्ट अ स्टार्टिंग। आने वाले समय में रिपब्लिक कई ऐसी चीजें हैं जो एआई के थ्रू, सर्वम के थ्रू भारत में लोगों के लिए काम करेगा, क्योंकि हमारा हमेशा से देव वाक्य रहा है कि जो भी करना है हमारे दर्शकों के लिए करना है, व्यूअर्स के लिए करना है। और आज हमने इसकी शुरुआत की है, लेकिन यहां पर ये अंत नहीं होगा। धीरे धीरे हम इसमें और भी सुधार करेंगे। आज जो एक्यूरेसी है, आने वाले समय में हम कोशिश करेंगे कि और भी ऐसी चीजें हो अलग अलग लैंग्वेजेस में। आज सिर्फ कन्नड़ा और हिंदी में हुई है, लेकिन आने वाले समय में जैसे हम ग्लोबल की बात करते हैं, तो आज भारत से और रिपब्लिक के न्यूज रूम से हम ये कहते हैं कि आने वाले भविष्य में हम इस दिशा में और काम करेंगे। तन्वी।
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mridul. We also have Himanshu here from the model team of Sarvam AI. We'll keep Himanshu and the Sarvam team on air, of course, with Pratyush. Tell us, Himanshu, how was it, in terms of building this model? You didn't have much time to train it. It was sort of a last-minute gig we went with. We were testing overtime till the 11th hour, I think, till I think 54. There were at least heebie-jeebies here in our newsroom. So tell me, how has the experience been for you? What were you most nervous about? And I guess, what are you most proud about in terms of being able to pull it off?
Yeah, maybe I will start with what I'm proud about. And I think the pride comes from the fact that we have an AI system which is actually impactful. It is not, and it is actually something which is going to help bridge language barriers, help accessibility of content, and this was just the first step in that direction. Sarvam, we have a lot of ambitions on closing this gap and actually bringing the power of AI to the hands of Indians and the users. Nervous, obviously, it was intense. I think we have been working on this model in general for past few months, and now for this specific event today, we were trying to make it faster. We were trying to make it accurate. We were trying to make sure that we capture the nuance of this kind of speech of the style of Honorable Finance Minister properly. So it was intense. We were obviously afraid or scared of, or nervous of things which can go wrong. If there might be some mispronunciation, there might be some glitch in terms of the system. But I think the team handled it pretty well. The things went very smooth, and really excited to see how we can take this forward to larger scales.
Fantastic. I'm going to throw it to Republic Kannada newsroom now. We have Sri Lakshmi with us. Sri Lakshmi, how was the experience? What is the feedback that you got from the ground in terms of your viewers? Tell us about, how was it to hear Nirmala Sitharaman in her voice in Kannada for the first time? I guess in a budget speech, of course.
It was indeed a historic day in Kannada media world itself, since for the first time people were listening to union budget in Kannada language itself. They felt a sense of familiarity and first-hand understanding was there. So initially people felt, there were reactions that people felt that this telecasting is, Nirmala Sitharaman herself is talking in Kannada. This was first reaction from the people, since Republic Kannada was the only channel which was successful in telecasting this in Kannada. We were also thrilled, people were also thrilled, and there's a huge number of responses wherein people started interacting to the budget, expressing their feelings towards the budget, and later on they came to know that it is the Kannada telecast of the English speech. Overall, it was an extremely thrilling experience and limitless possibilities. It was a doorway to limitless possibilities.
Absolutely. And I think we're running short of time. Arnab's coming up next. But before we close, I want to thank everyone from the Sarvam AI team who have camped here in our newsrooms, worked with our technology, digital and broadcast teams. I think it has been a fantastic start. And to the viewers, I think from Team Digital, this is just the game beginning. It allows us to get you content across languages, and we assure you that we're going to do it over the next few months. So thank you so much. Arnab's up next with the big budget debates.